Welcome back to episode 40 of our Divinity Original Sin 2 2020 guide. In between the last episode and this one, mostly all I did was just organize everybody's power tray down here, their hotbar. Alright, just so we got everything a little bit more organized, because it was getting a little cluttered, and I wasn't a big fan of it. Alright, so for the most part we got all our utility skills over here, and then all our main attacks organized by, element type, or, attribute skill tree setup. Alright, so we did craft and learn a skill with Mumbo off screen there. We learned Dust Blast. Alright, currently it's not memorized. I instead put Acid Spores in there. Alright, now Dust Blast is essentially just an area effect, throw dust. Alright, except it auto targets all enemies that are in range. Alright, so it's got a pretty big range. Alright, yeah, it's decent size range. It would just auto target any enemies that are in there. It's 1 source point, 3 action points. Alright, instead where I got Acid Spores is what we're going to have memorized, because I actually don't know why. I'm going to put Acid Spores in there. I usually use Dust Blast. I'm going to try out Acid Spores, try something new. Alright, so we're going to come up here, and we got 2 Source Hounds, 2 Magisters. They're at level 9. Or are they at level 10? They're at level 10. We're at level 12. We're gonna wreck these guys. Alright. Like, it's not even gonna be close. Alright, and the fun part is, this guy summons totems pretty much every turn. So Red Prince can just shoot a totem every turn and get his Executioner to go off. Alright, so that's gonna be pretty nice. He's gonna do 73 damage minimum. This guy, well, he's got 1 HP left, so we're just gonna hit him with one of them. And then this archer's up next. We would hit her, but that totem's actually blocking our shot. So we're going to go for the Source Hound instead. Oh, you know what? We had Red Prince learn Pet Pal for a quest, and we never got Executioner back. So that plan just went right out the window. That's alright, though. We don't really need it for this combat. Yeah, we'll be alright. And we're going to put one of these dogs to sleep, the one that's going first. Alright, so I just want to show you guys this new source skill, Acid Spores. Alright, so you get to throw out 3 spores of corrosive damage. Alright, and it's going to set poison for 4 turns. That's a lot of poison. And since we have Torturer, it's going to set that through armor. Alright. So we're gonna go, we're just gonna spread out the damage a bit. So we're gonna go 1, 2, we can't hit both of them. Alright, 3. Alright, so it puts big acid cloud right there. Alright. Now, let's see. The dog over here is up next. Well, we can't really crowd control him, can we? Alright, and then next up I want to show you guys the power of Superconductor here. Alright. I'm going to target all these guys. Just hit them all. Does great damage. Alright, so they weren't too difficult to take down. Alright, I was kind of goofing off. Beast lost some armor, but they're a few levels lower than us. No big deal. Now, I did use a source skill with Mumbo. Alright, I used Acid Spores there, so he currently has no source points. Now we get to use our brand new Source Vampirism. Show you guys how that works. You just target a corpse, hit it with that, and then you get a source point back. Alright, now the corpse you target doesn't have to have had any innate source abilities. Alright, it can be any corpse that you come across. It'll work. If one of your teammates dies, you can actually use it on them. Alright? If they had source and they're a dead body, I'm not sure if it takes a source point from them or not, if it's one of your teammates. But regardless if they have one or not, it'll still give you one. Alright? And there we go, +1 source point. Mumbo's back up to full. Now, this might become a bit repetitive and tedious sometimes if you like using a lot of source-based skills. When I play with mods on, it's actually one of my favorite mods just for convenience, is I like to put on the mod where bedrolls restore source as well. And as of, I think, earlier today, as the day I'm recording this, not the day it gets put on YouTube, earlier today, Larian just put out their own, like, Larian-approved mods, and I think one of them was that bedrolls will restore source. Alright, so then we got this guy over here, alright, Laggin. It's like Logan with an A. I don't know, weird names in this game. He's looking for his ring. So he's just telling me to look for it. You find it right over here. I can never actually, like... Oh, there it is. Normally, I can't find it by myself. You gotta hold that left alt key, and it's way easier to grab. It's not a very good ring. Alright, it is cool. It gives +1 persuasion, but we're already kind of maxed out on persuasion. We don't really need that. So as soon as you grab this, you're going to get ambushed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Mumbo over here, and then I'm going to move Red Prince up over here. Alright. And then we're going to have Pyramus grab that ring. And then we get ambushed right there. Alright, so the first enemy going is over here, so we're going to take him out. Now, if you guys waited to level 12 to do this, this shouldn't be too difficult. Just make sure you check. These guys do have negative air resistance on the big guy and a decent amount of fire and water resistance. But the little guys, alright, they have positive air and water resistance, but they have negative fire and earth resistance, alright? And again, I think we swapped out stats on Red Prince. No, he has 6 Lore Master. We didn't swap out anything. Alright, so these guys are... There we go. These guys are immune to being stunned, but not frozen, which kind of sucks, because they have higher water resistance. And this guy is immune to stun, but not frozen, and that kind of sucks, because he's got higher water resistance. So you can freeze these guys, you cannot, however, stun them. So just keep that in mind for your crowd controlling. Now, a quick note on this encounter. There are some Magisters over here that are close enough where they might get drawn into this battle. Alright, they're going to have to come across this little shallow part of the river there. Alright, so, I mean, river-ish. We're kind of at the end where it's not really a river anymore. This I would call a river right here. Debatable. Anyway, they can enter combat over here. So just be aware of that. As long as you don't attack them, I mean, they don't know that you're a sorcerer unless you use source in the combat while they're here. So they're not going to attack you. They're just going to attack these guys. Alright? Alright, I just thought this was funny. This guy got frozen while he was moving. And he's kind of frozen in mid-air, like in the middle of his leap. So quick note, when you have cursed surfaces, they have different effects than the standard surface. So for example, cursed ice has a chance to apply chill and frozen. I think it just automatically applies chill. As you can see over here, Mumbo and Beast, alright, they still have magic armor, and I didn't restore it, they just still have it, and they're both chilled. That's because of cursed ice. Alright, so cursed ice can freeze through armor. Alright, but I just thought it was funny. This guy got frozen on the cursed ice while he's like off the ground. I guess maybe his toes back there might be on. I just thought it was funny. Alright, once you take care of those guys, you can talk to Laggin, whatever you want to call him. And you can give him his ring back. Alright. Now, you can kind of, extort him into paying you for it here. Alright. You need persuasion for that. And you can either not give him the ring, you can give him the ring. Right, if you give him the ring, you get 5,000 XP. And then, you can kill him anyway. Get that doubled up XP. And then for killing Lagan, you get 2,000 XP. Alright. Unfortunately, then you can't get his ring back from him, that would be better if you could just get the ring back from him after killing him, but you can't. And after taking Lagan out, there's going to be some vines over here. We're going to climb on up them. Then we're going to come across over here. Now, at this point, over here, there's an ambush. And over here, there's another ambush. Alright, so we're kind of stuck between two ambushes, but you know what? they're both pretty easy ambushes, alright? They're designed for people that didn't wait till level 12 to leave the main central town square area. So we're gonna climb on up here. Ah, there we go. Okay. So yeah, these guys are level 10. They're not all that tough. Even if you are lower level, the worst part about these guys is that they start off with the high ground. Yeah, so when they get the high ground, they do like to just constantly slow you, teleport you back down here. Kind of the tactics we like to use, right? But it's not going to help them very much. And once those two are taken care of, we can continue on from here. Alright, now I teleported them both down here. Well, I teleported one and then nether swapped the other, because, you know, we got nether swap now. It's a good move. You should use it. You can find kind of a camp over here that looks like it got attacked and just, you know, a bunch of dead dwarves lying around. Now, if you have high persuasion or the mystic tag, you can actually talk your way out of the fight with the possessed dwarves, alright? But, you know, where's the experience in that, right? So I just like to fight them because it's more experience. I like me some experience. Now over here, kind of behind all this stuff, you're going to find a little opening in the cave here. Alright, you're going to have to hit it 3 times, and then the people in there, Warren, is going to talk to you. Alright, try to engage him. Use anything that seems like it'll work. Tell him you're here with Lohar, and then when you get to a persuasion check, I'm going to use my high persuasion character, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, but if you pass the persuasion check, the 2 dwarves that are in there do help you out later. Alright, not super helpful, but it's helpful. Alright, now from the spot where you got ambushed initially, you're going to want to come over here, pretty much due south. Alright, and then over by this dead bull, alright, you're going to find a second ambush, alright. Now, they're kind of spread out on this ambush. I don't know if there's really one best spot, but I'm just going to come up these vines here. Alright, so they're going to talk to whoever gets over there first. So I'm just going to climb up here. I'll loot this chest while we wait, actually. Alright, there we go. Now, there's going to be a dwarf here, and then 2 dwarves over here, and I think 1 over here. Not quite sure on that last one. Alright. Alright, now once you finish up with those guys and loot their bodies, there's going to be a exclamation point over your party's head. Alright, so they're just like, hey, what's going on with these dwarves? Who's possessing them? Alright, answer, Mortis is possessing them. Alright. So we're going to come right on down here. So actually, and I'm going to use the dead bull here as a reference point. You're going to come over this way. Alright, you're going to come up here. You're going to go across the bridge you're going to find right there. Alright. And you're going to come up to this little altar with this statue right here. Alright. So it's a statue of the burning prophet. Alright, and then we got some torches here. Let's see what happens when we interact with the torch. Alright, torch turns on. Ooh, and then it shuts off real quick. Let's try again. Turn it on. Ooh, it shuts off real quick. Alright, so if we like try to turn them all on at the same time, ooh, we're not gonna have an easy go with that. So what we're gonna do, luckily we have a pyromancer who knows fireball, so you're gonna shoot a fireball right in the middle, light them all up. Alright, and now they're all lit at the same time. Alright, you will you know, do the little hidden quest here. Alright, statue's gonna light up a little bit and interact with the statue. As the torches around you. Yeah, so this guy got cursed by Brachus Rex, the guy from Act 1 who did a whole bunch of cursing on people in the first island by Fort Joy. And then after you interact with that, you get a little bit of experience, and then this Book of Prophecy pops up. You can read that if you want. Alright, just kind of a little extra trophy type thing. And coming down here, alright, first off, grab some yarrow flowers. Alright, now if you come over here, you're going to notice a ancient lamp. Alright. Now, there's a few different things that you can do with the ancient lamp. Alright, what we're going to do first here is we're going to have Beast try to jump down there. Unchain Beast from the party so they don't run off when he's not there. And then we're going to actually just move that lamp over there. We just want it... Actually, I was going to teleport it over here, but I think teleporting it breaks it open. We don't want to do that. So you can interact with the lamp. There's a djinn that comes out of the lamp. And the djinn that comes out is pretty powerful. He's going to be one of the few enemies in the game that has physical damage resistance. Alright. So, you got a few options. Alright, now obviously it's a lamp. If you pick an option where you try to rub some dirt off of it or whatever, you're going to summon the djinn. Alright, you can leave it where it's at. You can smash it open. Alright, I'm going to put it in my backpack. Save it for later. Because the djinn that pops out of it is always going to be your level. So we're not going to fully maximize that. Alright, but we are going to wait till we're a bit higher level to fight him so that we get more experience for fighting a higher level enemy. Alright. Alright, so from the statue, you're going to come across this bridge over here, which leads you to another bridge over here. And on this bridge, you've got some cursed oil over here. You've got oil right there and an oil barrel. So there's going to be some traps that blow up that oil. So we're just going to get rid of that oil barrel. Toss it over here. And I think we have Pyramus just shoot something over there. Oh, it triggered something. Alright, hit that oil. Maybe the traps are all over there. Ah, nope, there was one right there. There might be one in the middle we missed, and then I'm going to just hit that cursed oil over there. Alright, so if there's any kind of trap going on, we just activated it, got it out of the way. And once the curse goes away from that fire, you can just make it rain and put it out nice and easy that way. And similarly, you're going to want to preemptively set off any traps by that cursed poison. Now you can come around here if you want. There's some things you could loot. I don't think there's anything particularly useful that always shows up over here. If you have Lucky Charm, you might get lucky. Kind of the definition of Lucky Charm there, I suppose. To get up here, you're going to need a movement skill like Tactical Retreat, and then you're going to want to drop down those vines. Now, we are going to grab these, I don't know, guapinia mushrooms. I don't know how, I always call them guinea pig mushrooms, but you can grab those. They give you fire resistance. You can craft them into fire resistance potions, and we're going to need a lot of fire resistance. Not right now, not really anytime soon, but later on we're going to need quite a bit. Now over here, we've got some more possessed dwarves, alright, and when you get a little bit closer to load up, there's a Voidwoken attacking stuff over there. Alright, now these guys are level 10, and there's quite a few of them. If you haven't leveled up to level 12 like we have, this could be a tough encounter. Like, if you're doing this at level 10, this is going to be a bit of a rough fight. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to shoot that big Voidwoken there, so that it stays in combat. Alright, that way we get more experience for killing it. If you don't attack it to start off combat, it will fly away by the time you would normally get here. And because it's flying over here, we're going to have everybody else up here crouch, just so he doesn't go and bring them in early. Alright, and because we've got the whole rest of the team waiting on us, I'm going to actually have Red Prince delay there. Ah, now these guys, these are the dwarves that were in that cave that said they'd help you out later. Well, here's later, they're helping us out. Now, what just happened here was a little unfortunate. Red Prince got hit with Tentacle Lash, and he now has atrophy. So Red Prince, the archer, who uses a bow, can't use weapons for his next turn. Alright, so he's going to be not useless, but he's going to be pretty limited there. Alright, he can use chloroform. If I had First Aid memorized, he could use First Aid. I think he can still prep elemental arrowheads. So he can do some stuff, but he's not going to be able to attack on his turn, which is a bit of a letdown. Now, every turn fighting these guys, this statue over here is going to give them some physical armor, I believe. Yeah, it's going to buff up their physical armor, and it's going to give them 5% chance to dodge. I don't know if the dodge chance stacks, but the armor will constantly get replenished. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to have Pyramus from right up here. He's going to teleport that bug. And we want to, again, group up the enemies. And, well, we've got a possessed war maiden right there. So we're going to just teleport him right there. Alright, that's also convenient for us, because now Red Prince is in Dragon's Blaze range. I'm going to have him get out of there using Tactical Retreat, so we don't get opportunity attacked. Alright, now the possessed dwarves, because of the possessed status, they cannot be put to sleep or charmed or anything that would be a mental status effect. Big bug, though, he can still be put to sleep. There we go. Now, when you're entering combat for this one with people that were, you know, set up just outside of combat, coming over here gives you a pretty good vantage point. If you've got Cloak and Dagger with somebody, you can get to most areas from right there. Alright, so over here, once we get up the ladder, we'll still be hidden from them. So I think that's the approach I'm going to go with. One of our assisting dwarves is over here. The other one is knocked down over there. Not dead, just knocked down. And then we've got 3 dwarves over here to take down, and a dwarf over here to take down. So I'm going to have Beast hop over this way. Now, unfortunately, somehow, he did get entered into combat with that. But that's alright. And then Mumbo still sneaking. We're going to have him come on over here. Alright, so quick note here. With Beast, I had him take spider legs. Alright. So he grew some legs right there. Right? It looks pretty good on Beast, I think. And then he shot web out at these guys. Now, web is nice because it goes through armor and then they're just immobilized, alright? It's going to decrease dodging by 70%, so if you've got some enemies that are trying to dodge things, web is a great way to counteract that. Alright, I just want to remind everybody one more time, because it's just a great combo. If the enemies are locked down, whether it's webbing or impalement or worm tremor, if you get them immobilized and then hit them with blind, they're as good as useless, alright? Alright, so those guys are going to go back to Driftwood after this. I'm not sure if we can meet up with them later or not. Alright, and after you guys are done with that, we're going to end the video there, but you're going to want to make sure you restock up on source. There's a few source puddles laying around, so that'll make it a little bit easier. Alright, but you can also just use source vampirism on the corpses that are laying around the battlefield. Alright. When you get done with this, you know, here's the statue. You're going to take a left there, and there's a cave entrance right over there. Now, you don't have to go through that way, because if you hop up here, you can teleport down here. We actually already got that waypoint. But that little cave entrance there is to get into this same cave that this entrance goes to. Alright, so you don't have to go through the whole cave there, but you can if you want. You get more experience if you do it that way. Alright, so that is going to be it for this episode, guys. The next episode is going to pick up inside this cave here. Alright, I will see you guys next time.